It was pretty quiet in the street, and no one was there but me and my partner. We saw a bunch of house construction left over on a cart.
Hey, let's go there and see what's that.
We stood near the Frankmore building, looking at it, and the question formed itself: what am I gonna take? The light is dim. After spending some time standing there, I picked a block of plaster, and I saw it has blue droplets and markings on its surface. It was like crying. I was out of my head, but I knew I got something I wanted.
Materiality knew she was seeing the inside of the eyeball, the droplets. If crying is from the inside of the eyeball, what she is thinking is a distorted form of an eyeball she would introduce to other people. It is happening when someone cries a lot before sleeping. The next morning the eyes become so weird, one big, one small. What she was doing was to turn it into what's supposed to have looked like. What Matalino was driving at was the meaning of an object, perception of homeless, seeing her home changed so fast that she couldn't recognize it was her home anymore. She was no different from a person who is regarded as homeless, and it has nothing to do with a shelter. To Matalino, she was in the Netherlands, a place which has colonial background, but it seems not related to us. It is about you and me, but also not about you and me. She is like the plaster, but just a plaster was not enough. Matelia's interest to see the plaster transformed into an eyeball to visit the old house suggests the act of seeing, witnessing, and displacing itself in a place the eyeball is no longer living there. To admit the home is not gonna go back to one the eyeball could recognize. She could be cruel and brutal.
I told them the question is exactly as I want it to be. At the time I left Hong Kong, I discovered the two little coins followed me secretly, or I made them follow me accidentally. When it appeared as words, why should I hide it or transform it? It is other material, and in such a case I don't see any privilege of words. Material is also language. The coins were asked this question, and now they ask the eyeball who visited the old house back that the curiosity was transformed to arrogance, that they don't even know they are pushing the eyeball to a lonesome situation. I was in the Netherlands, and I spent a lot of time in front of recycling bins, trash cans, and free stuff shelves. I was fascinated to wander in second-hand shop that I picked up texture I like. Everything I don't know what to do with it, but just let alone that they moved me to somewhere.
The materials always trying to do something. Material, she thought she could do that they were telling her that you couldn't do. She was out there by herself. Material was in her element when overcoming difficult questions and judgment. She always saw herself as a form even as a test. She was born in Hong Kong and later on she came to the Netherlands to study art.
It was at a time she was in a society full of political and social turmoil, and things in her eyes turned into a metaphor of human condition in such a society. Questions first as an accuse, and then is the understanding of the text itself. There was a time I was asked if the text I am showing in the curtain, "The moon is shining on the sea. We are heading to it. Why is it not shining on us?" as romanticizing, as there are a lot of people getting hurt in protest. I would say it's not the curtain that cannot express itself that I create the text, but it's another way round that I transform the text into a form, which is wrinkling through sewing it on a cloth. At least it's not present, neither romantic in the form itself. Material never thought such a question would strike her for months, and brought her into the days back there, the things she witnessed, but out of security and cultural practice, that she would not tell others what others assumed she would have told. She blamed herself failing to explain with words, to clarify, to justify her statement. Why not the reality of a person situated that made her ask such a question, which told her the cruelty of reality that the future is not gonna cast under such a moonlight, but always rowing in a dark sea? I thought the form and texture already explained the condition of her question, but it was to her, who did not tell others about her background, that she was put under such a judgment. But Taleo believed it is far more dangerous that people put the existence of artists so front that ignore the fact that artists are indeed an agent, and we could have missed out the texture of materials. When Magdalena was about to finish the service, she looked into me and asked, "What would it be like if the eyeball is also looking at me?" It was the blue droplets on the eyeball that I witnessed and remembered as part of my memory. She made me a reminder for people to notice the crying of the eyeball and the witness of it. Everything in the room came as a pair and cut as a pair. I began to see objects come together as a collective, and they help with each other to complete the narration, not her, neither the text.